Happy New Year, televiewers. You're welcome to the very first edition of The Brief, live on My Media Prime Television, your bilingual program dedicated to the review of striking newspaper headlines in the country. Today we are focusing on what is happening in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, as well as the far north region of Cameroon. Those were some of the striking headlines that caught the attention of most newspapers today in Cameroon. And we are glad to have with us the national coordinator for Stand Up for Cameroon, and equally the national president for the CPP party, Madam Edith Kawala, who is already in the studio. He will be digging several layers beneath some of the striking headlines we got for you in the papers today. Bonjour Audrey et bonne année.
Good morning, Lasha Kingsley. Happy New Year.
Welcome to the program.
Merci beaucoup.
So what are the French newspapers saying this morning?
Bonne année à tous, fidèles et très chers téléspectateurs de Débrief. C'est avec un réel plaisir que nous vous retrouverons ce lundi 11 janvier 2021 pour, n'est-ce pas, vous servir la première édition de cette année. Et on débute tout de suite avec le journal à capitaux publics Cameroun Tribune qui a consacré sa une ce matin aux réfugiés de la crise sécuritaire en République centrafricaine. Paul Biya solidaire. D'après le journal, environ 4500 personnes ayant traversé la frontière centrafricaine depuis quelques semaines ont reçu un message de réconfort et des appuis matériels du président de la République apporté par le MINAD, Paul Atanganji. Le journal poursuit en informant que parmi ces réfugiés, on a 150 opérateurs économiques chinois qui ont tout perdu, des centaines de camionneurs tchadiens, centrafricains et bien sûr camerounais. La suite de cette information est à dire à la page 5 de Cameroun Tribune. Cameroun Tribune donne également plus de lumière sur le processus de délivrance des cartes nationales d'identité et passeports dans les pages 16 et 17. Le journal indique que les points qui grippent le circuit ont été expliqués à l'opinion publique vendredi par le secrétaire général de la délégation générale à la sûreté nationale, Dominique Baya, qui a promis une meilleure fluidité dans les prochains jours. Le journal Intégration, avec lequel nous poursuivons, indique que 119 corps sont abandonnés dans les tiroirs à la morgue de l'hôpital central de Yaoundé. Le journal fait savoir que la majorité de ces corps ont été découverts dans les maisons et la rue et sont sans pièces pour aider à les identifier. Pour le messager, Ngongo et Yebe Aïssi troublent l'ordre public à l'origine des titres fonciers frauduleusement établis au profit de la collectivité de Ngonjok au mépris de la loi en vigueur en matière domaniale. Terminons avec le jour qui revient également sur le sujet de CNI qui défraie la chronique. Voilà pour les tabloïds en langue française. Place aux tabloïds en langue anglaise avec toi, Lasha Kingsley.
Thank you, Audrey. Let's kickstart with the Lone English Daily, The Guardian Post. The Guardian Post this morning revisit the scenes of killings in the northwest and southwest regions of the country with this major headline: bloody weekend in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. 3 security officers at least 7 civilians killed in separate suspected amber attacks over the weekend in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. The paper equally talked about dozens who have been killed in the suicide bomb attack in the far north region of Cameroon, and delay in ID cards issuance in Cameroon. The Guardian Post newspaper writes that police authorities blame the situation on falsified civil status documents in the country. Let's equally talk about Municipal Updates. Municipal Update newspaper this morning, which also revisits the scene of atrocities in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon with this headline: monster against on people. Amber fighters kill, over 8 injured, and in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon recently. The paper also revisits the major national dialogue, talking about analysis, impact of the meeting 15 months after the meeting in Yaoundé. You can get details of the analysis and impact of the major national dialogue all in this edition of Municipal Updates newspaper. The paper is equally talked about the Anglophone crisis, where 3,000 IDPs and over 600 refugees who returned home have benefited from President Paul Biya's end of year gifts, the gifts that were given to these IDPs. Recently was the turn of the southwest region of the country, where Governor Okalia Bilai personally supervised the donations in Manfe recently. That's how we saw it today. We chose two newspapers for us today because of the burning issues we have at hand. We are back in the studio to meet Madam Edith Kawala. Good morning, Madam, and Happy New Year.
Good morning. Very Happy New Year to both of you, and a lot of compassion, and our thoughts are with those in the extreme north, in the northwest, and in the southwest, who unfortunately have started 2021 with a very, very violent week last week.
Well, before we started the program off camera, we were talking about strong institution, and another win for your party. The Supreme Court of Cameroon recently turned down an appeal issued or filed in by Territorial Administration Minister to rip you off your party, and
yes,
you won once again.
Yes, we are very, very pleasantly surprised, I have to say, because we have known the Cameroonian justice system to not be very fair and free, especially in political matters. But we were very proud and happy to find out that as you know, the minister sat in his office and decided to start nominating the leadership of the CPP from his office. We took him to court to challenge this, because no minister can nominate the leadership of a political party. We won the case in the administrative court, and the minister took it upon himself to appeal at the level of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court simply threw out his case as being non-conform to the different requirements for the appeal. So since that is the highest court of the land and that it has been thrown out, we are very, very happy to...
So at least you can trust now in the justice system of...
No. That does not mean we can trust in the justice system. I want to say this. I want to congratulate the judges. I do not know any of them. I did not meet any of them. I do not know what their names are, except from the decision. So it gives hope. It gives hope that there are still civil servants in Cameroon who do their job and do it properly. So it gives hope, which we have always had, because the fight we are leading is based on hope and trust in Cameroonians themselves. But it does not enable us to trust the justice system, because in that same period, that same justice system was committed a lot of errors with regard to other Cameroonians.
Est-ce que vous pouvez dire que vous avez été chanceux de ce côté-là?
Je crois qu'on est tombé sur les bons fonctionnaires, parce que il faut savoir que le combat que nous menons, c'est un combat qui a pour gage les Camerounais. Ça, c'est les Camerounais dans la fonction publique, les Camerounais en dehors de la fonction publique. Nous reposons notre foi en cette capacité des Camerounais de reconnaître ce que c'est que la justice, les principes de base, et de pouvoir travailler dans ce sens. Donc, nous avons eu la chance de tomber sur des juges. Vraiment de la chance, parce que on ne les connaît pas, on ne les a pas vus. Je n'ai connu sur leur nom que le jour où moi-même j'étais au tribunal et par la décision qu'ils ont signée. Donc, on a eu énormément de chance. Toutefois, on doit dire en la même période que eux ils prenaient ce type de décision, que nous suivons énormément d'autres cas où des personnes qui ont été arrêtées de manière illégale et arbitraire, des personnes qui ont été détenues de manière illégale et arbitraire, des personnes qui ont été torturées dans le système de sécurité camerounaise, on n'a pas vu les juges libérer ces personnes. On n'a pas vu les juges qualifier ces dossiers de nuls et de non avenants comme il se doit. Donc le système reste problématique. Toutefois, je crois que c'est un bon rappel pour nous tous qu'il y a des individus dans ce système qui veulent faire leur
Last
travail.
time when you were on this very platform, it was when the Kumba killing.
Yes.
Unfortunately and sadly, you're back and we are talking about killings again. Over the weekend, we've seen a series of sad incidents from the far north region where Boko Haram militants of the terrorist sect, they killed over 13. 12 Cameroonians, 1 soldier and 12 civilians. And now we also have the northwest and southwest where so many people were killed by suspected Ambazonians as well as the military, as we learned from papers.
Yes. Unfortunately, here we are again, as you are saying. Here we are again. But I think we are not surprised because for the last 5 years, since the end of 2016, we have been saying, we at Stand Up for Cameroon, but so many other actors, political actors, civil society actors, and so on, we have said we must engage into a process for justice and peace. As long as we don't have that process where we are dialoguing, we are identifying the root causes to the situation in which we are in, be that in the northwest and southwest or in the far north region. All of these situations of conflict have their root cause in the very, very bad governance we have had.
The enemy is defined. But the northwest and southwest, there is no enemy.
So I think those two conflicts are more similar than people want to admit. In the far north, Boko Haram originated from Nigeria, but Boko Haram is a guerrilla group. It is a guerrilla terrorist group. It cannot operate in our territory except if it recruits Cameroonians. And we know for a fact that in the beginning, thousands of Cameroonians were recruited. And we know for a fact that up to now, there are hundreds of Cameroonians in Boko Haram. I was listening to you carefully because I hear all the journalists making the distinction, saying there were 13 Cameroonians and 2 Boko Haram. Do you know the nationality of the Boko Haram? Cameroonians are in Boko Haram. Let us not kid ourselves. And so therefore, the question we must ask ourselves is, why are extremist groups, because be they the armed groups in the northwest and southwest or a group like Boko Haram, these are extremist groups, why are they able to recruit our children? The reason they are able to recruit our children is because we have not provided water, we have not provided light, we have not provided jobs, we are not able to keep these children in school. We have not provided the perspective of a future for our children, and therefore they are seduced, because it is these groups have a seduction process. It's not they entice these young people with money, with the possibility of being somebody in the society. These are young people who are completely marginalized in our society. They are jobless, they have no money. Even in a family meeting, if they raise their voice, we say, you don't have anything to say. But now this person has a gun. Once they have a gun, we are going to listen to what they say. They now have a place in the society, and the gun enables them to generate money.
Look at the case of the northwest and southwest region, where the armed militias are killing their own. Instead of going after the government officials, they claim they're sending away from the regions.
I think this, exactly what I'm saying, explains this fact. So you realize that for these young people, their agenda is not political, right? It is not they are not defending. You no longer hear them defending. They are using a political excuse, in the same way that those in the extreme north are using a religious excuse. But the reality is that these young people, what has happened now, especially in the Northwest and Southwest, is that we are in a war economy. These armed groups control small parts of the territory where they are able to generate income for themselves. Their preoccupation is to continue that control. So kidnapping is a very big source of income. They are generating money from kidnapping. Anybody who is on the ground there, if you do your research on the ground, you know that they are tax collectors. They have imposed a variety of taxes on the population.
Yeah, we see the funders, those who are supporting this fight. Yes. They brandish themselves on social media, claiming how they are succeeding. And what is happening with that diplomatic, diplomatic links with other countries that are hosting these people who are funding the war? And we see them, they brandish themselves on social media with impunity, without any fear of anything that can happen to them.
This is a very, very good question. We saw our head of state again on the 31st of December talking to us, saying in a very general way that those countries who are harboring these young people should do something. That is not how it works. He's the head of state. The way it works is that the state of Cameroon files a complaint. So what Mr. Biya should be telling us about is how many complaints has he filed and where have those complaints been filed? What is the state of the complaint? How many of these young people inciting violence in Cameroon from the very beginning, financing violence in Cameroon and proudly proclaiming it over social media? They live in the United States, they live in Norway, they live in South Africa. Cameroon should tell us, the government of Cameroon should tell us, where has it filed complaints? With which countries? When were those complaints filed and what is the situation? There's an international investigation agency known as Interpol.
Yeah.
What
in France.
What are the complaints that the government of Cameroon has filed on Interpol? Because we see these same people who are causing all of this havoc. We see them traveling. They have meetings. They travel from one country to the other. They get together. So we have to ask our government of Cameroon, where are the complaints and what is the situation of those complaints? Stop telling us about those countries should. Countries don't do that. There's a legal process. There's an investigative process. So the government of Cameroon, who is the aggrieved party, who is the victim, is the one to file those complaints and follow them up.
Mais madame, quand on regarde cette situation-là, est-ce que les Camerounais pourraient avoir espoir que, n'est-ce pas, cette guerre-là va cesser? Parce que, il faut le dire, on a commencé l'année quand même avec beaucoup d'espoir en se disant que non, tout ça va cesser. On recommence avec les mêmes histoires. Est-ce que ces acteurs-là ne sont pas, par exemple, en train de nous lancer un message pour nous dire que l'année 2021 sera une année comme celle de 2020?
Alors, les Camerounais, c'est fini l'espoir. Rester à la maison, croiser les bras et espérer, non. Je suis désolée d'être la politique qui vous ramène toujours dans la réalité, parce que j'ai découvert que on aime quand vous mente, vous aimez quand vous mente, quand vous caresse dans le sens du poil. Non. Rester à la maison, les bras croisés, en espérant, non, il n'y aura pas de solution. Aujourd'hui, chaque Camerounais doit s'engager. Et nous devons prendre ces signaux pour ce qu'ils sont. Vous avez tout à fait raison. Ces groupes sont en train de nous envoyer un message, de nous dire, nous sommes là, nous avons encore la capacité d'agir quand nous voulons, comme nous voulons. Où nous voulons. Parce que le message de Matazin, c'est mon village d'ailleurs, hein, parce que c'est à côté de, c'est la route pour aller à Pigny. C'est la deuxième attaque que nous subissons dans cette, la deuxième très grande attaque. Il y a beaucoup d'attaques, mais la deuxième attaque avec un nombre de morts très significatif. Mais c'est la frontière entre l'Ouest et le nord-ouest. Et si vous parlez à ceux qui sont tout au long de la frontière à l'ouest, il y a des déplacés à Douala qui viennent des villages de l'ouest. Il y a des déplacés à Douala, des villages voisins, parce que les groupes armés traversent la frontière. Il n'y a d'ailleurs pas une frontière réelle, d'ailleurs. Donc, il faut qu'on comprenne, et le message que nous, on a aux Camerounais, c'est de s'engager. De s'engager, nous avons un mouvement qui s'appelle End Anglophone Crisis. C'est important de s'engager. C'est important de ne pas rester à la maison, mais d'aller vers les groupes comme Stand Up for Cameroun, d'autres groupes qui travaillent concrètement pour mettre fin. Et c'est important de lever la voix vis-à-vis de notre gouvernement pour dire on en a marre, il faut que ça s'arrête, il faut un processus de justice et de dialogue.
Processus, n'est-ce pas, du calvaire sans fin des cartes nationales d'identité au Cameroun. Les Camerounais crient leur ras-le-bol, ils en ont marre parce qu'ils n'ont pas de carte d'identité, ou alors
some sources are even claiming more than half the population of Cameroon they are moving without ID.
Et justement, il y a un mouvement sur les réseaux sociaux, hashtag je veux ma CNI, qui défraie la chronique depuis, je crois, 2 semaines.
Oui.
Oui, que peut-on vraiment dire, que peut-on tirer de ceci? Qu'est-ce qui ne va pas exactement?
Déjà, il faut féliciter, je crois, ces 2 femmes députées qui ont lancé ce hashtag. On constate au Cameroun ces derniers temps que c'est les femmes qui sont au front, qui mènent les batailles. Il faut les féliciter parce que la première des choses dans tout combat, c'est de lever la voix. C'est de dire ça ne va pas, il y a quelque chose qui est anormal ici. Et c'est ce qu'elles ont fait, et nous, on soutient tout à fait ce combat. Alors, ce qui est très grave, c'est que la direction générale de la Sûreté nationale au Cameroun est venue à la télé nous dire qu'ils sont incapables d'assurer la sûreté des identités camerounaises. Dans un autre pays,
they say it's because of multiple entries, falsified civil status registry.
So the question is, do you make entries?
Not at all.
Do I make entries? How can, what that press conference in any normally functioning country, not only the director would have lost his job, but so many people would have lost their jobs, because what they are telling us is that the job we are paying them to do, they are incapable of doing it. They make identity cards. So if any Cameroonian has double identity, triple identity, they made it. This idea in Cameroon, where government officials fail, then blame citizens, it must stop. We pay them to do that job. It's not free. It's not free. We are paying. If you drink water here, you pay a tax. The woman who is selling corn on the side of the road, to be able to sit on the side of that road, she pays a tax. It is those taxes that finance government. Government cannot come and tell us that you have triple, double identities. Why?
Well, the citizens, they have their own share of the blame, because most of they are the one who goes and request for, change of birth certificate and whatever, probably for other fake birth certificates and whatever to obtain their ID cards. So
two points on that. First of all, in every system, in every security system, the reason you have a security system is because there are people who are fraudulent, right? If we were all honest people, we would not need ID cards. If we were all honest, I just walk, you ask me my name, I tell you, you ask me. Yeah. So the whole reason for a security system is because there are people who are dishonest in every society. So you cannot tell us that it is because there are dishonest people that we don't have ID cards. It doesn't make sense. It is because there are dishonest people that we require ID cards. Number one. Number two is that we have to ask, why are Cameroonians going to change their age, going to make fake ID cards? Why? Because we have created systems To get into a school, it is not a transparent system based on merit. To get a job, it's not a transparent system based on merit. All of the things for which Cameroonians go and seek for a fake ID have been created by this government.
So what is the way forward?
People are not sitting in their house sleeping and saying, oh, today I want to have a fake ID. No. The difficulty, we must be clear on this with national ID cards. This is the most basic of government functions. And today with technology, that press conference that was given is an aberration, because technology means that if, especially biometrics, which we are now using, we say we have a biometric system, right? When you go, they take your print, they take for the ID, for the passport, and so on. It's supposed to be a biometric system. Where are those biometrics? If you go here to the embassy of the US, when you go one time for your visa, they take your fingerprint. The next time you come, they have a machine there. They put your fingerprint. When your fingerprint comes up, everything about you comes up in the system. You cannot give them fake information. They ask you, Mr. Kingsley, when was the last time you were in the US? If you give them a false answer, the man looks at his machine and says, my friend, you are telling me a story. Right? Yeah. Why is the government of Cameroon unable to do that? These are basics. So we must understand that the government is failing woefully at its job.
So what is the way forward in 30 seconds?
Way forward is very simple. One, make the entire system digital. Make it so that from birth certificate, all of the identification information of Cameroonians should go into databases. These databases must be connected and they must be decentralized. I should be able to get my ID card in Goketunja. I should not have to go to Yaoundé. If you have a central database system with access all over the country, I will be able to do that. And I will not, using biometrics, I will not be able to falsify the information.
Thank you very much, Madam Edith Kahola, for coming. It's always a pleasure having you on this platform.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. But this is a year for change, for political transition. We are asking you to join us in the fight. We want no more deaths, no more violence. But to get that, it depends on us.
Merci à vous, Madame Kabarola. Eh bien, c'est avec ces mots que nous terminons l'édition de cette semaine. Mesdames, Messieurs, merci d'avoir été des nôtres. Restez scotchés pour plus sur My Media Prime Television. La suite, c'est le Flash Info avec Fond Quinta.
Thank you for watching. The program was produced by Tebon Christian with presentations from Audrey Zaxa and myself, Lasha Kingsley. Bye-bye. Tomorrow is another day.